How about that? Thank you, sir. I got the word that you couldn't hear me, so let's start over. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, networkers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are absolutely blessed to have the man himself, Mr. Ray Higdon, in the house. We're going to talk about what's going on in his life. We're going to talk about what's going on with Rank Makers Live. We're going to talk about his guests. We're just going to let him pour into us a little bit. Thank you guys for jumping in this morning. I know you got a lot going on, and we are blessed to have you here. So here's the thing. Before we bring Ray in, read that little note down on the bottom there. Enter to win the $10,000 Networker Private Mastermind. Here's what we're doing. In November of this year, we have a private mastermind for our authors and contributors. We're going to get together and hang out. Ray's going to be there. And if you share this post, if you go to Facebook, grab the link and pop it out there to your team, pop it on your page in your group. If you share this so the world can hear Ray's voice, that's your entry. Each share is one entry. We're going to choose one person and we're going to give them that $10,000 mastermind. So grab the share button wherever you are and share it. We're on Clubhouse Live right now. We're on Facebook Live. We're on YouTube Live, and we're streaming on Instagram right now. So guys, thank you so much for jumping in here with us. I'm going to bring out the man himself. I've told this story a few times, but I'm not going to. My wife said, "Don't get deep. Just let Ray do his thing, baby. Let Ray do his thing." And I'm like, "Okay." Ray impacts lives. He's impacted my family's life. He is a person who is dedicated the last 10 plus years of his life to helping people reach their dreams. He has a very specific perspective on helping people go to the next level. He is always striving. He's paying the price from a monetary point of view, from a time point of view, and from an energy point of view to be the cutting edge of how we do better in our lives. And we could not be more blessed to have him here with us. So here's the man himself. Good morning, Mr. How are you, sir?
What's going on? How are you?
Uh-oh, we can't hear you, brother.
What?
Technical difficulties. We're going to work it out.
I'm not muted. You can't hear me? Yeah, I'm not muted.
Make sure you're not muted on my side. Oh, no, we're good on my side.
They say they hear me. They hear me.
It says that Ray says that he can hear me and he can hear him, but we can't hear him.
The audience can hear me.
Hold on. Hang with us, guys. The audience can hear me. Okay, good. Well, then I should, okay, hold on. Wait, is that better, Ray?
I don't know. Is it better for you?
It's better. It's totally better.
Man, coming in here, we can't hear you. You can't hear us. Like, what's going on?
We got it. When you try to do new stuff, Ray, I'm trying to get the word out. I got my mute on. My wife just told me Clubhouse couldn't hear, but I think they can hear us now because I turned my mic on. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. I am doing good.
You got a lot going on. Let's start from the top. Let's start from the most important thing you got going on. How are Jessica and those amazing kids of yours? That's what everybody wants to know.
They're doing awesome. We just had Graham's 2-year birthday, and it was a blast. He's hilarious. He now it's funny because my wife got her wish. He's been saying "dad" for a year maybe. And so the other day he starts going, mom, 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 mom. And so he just says it like nonstop. It's kind of like that Stewie clip, and so he'll just sit there and say, mom, and he'll say it over and over and over. And so she got her wish.
That's great. The one. That's the moment right there, right? It's like dad is easier to say with the tongue. It's those lips, getting those lips together. Right. That's the skill. That's the moment, Ray. I love it. Okay, you got a lot going on in your life. So how would you like to spend our time today? I know you got a lot going on. I know you got scheduled. So I want to spend our time today talking about Rank Makers Live specifically. Okay. But I don't want to talk about it from a go to my event. Although, let's be clear, go to Rankmakers Live. Go rml.com. Go rml.com. Get your tickets if you don't. And I'm going to make you guys a special offer for the leaders specifically before we leave. When I go to the page, I'm going to share it here real quick, Ray. I'm going to share the page real quick. Let me go over there. Is this it? Is that right? Let me turn this on right there. There we go. So when I go to this page, right, I want to concentrate on this word right here, social media. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to take us back a little bit and then I'm going to just let you do your thing. You know, people are building all sorts of ways, right? Offline, online, all the stuff. So the question is basic. It's super basic. Why social media? Why is that so important right now?
Yeah. I mean, you know, one, it is extremely efficient, right? You know, you can, you know, sit at home, spend, you know, be with your kids and still get a whole lot done in a very efficient manner on social media. Obviously, you know, we're in an interesting, you know, time in history with, you know, pandemic and with, you know, all of that going on, which pushed even more people to build on social media. And one perspective that we bring to social media is that just because it's social media and it's, you know, technical doesn't mean that that's all that it is. So, for example, we have one of my coaches, Hank, is speaking at Rankmakers Live, and Hank, he was one of the, he's been in, you know, TV for many years. Him and his company are who helped Grant Cardone come up with the concept of 10X, helped Mel Robbins come up with the 5-second rule. And he teaches you how to be more authentic on video and how to really, you know, share emotionally and have vulnerability that will maximize your relatedness and connection with people who watch your stuff. And so that's one distinction, because if you go at social media just as a technical thing of what bell and whistle, what hashtag, what, you know, whatever, we teach all that stuff. And we have people like Chalene Johnson that's going to be teaching that, who's, you know, one of, if not the best in the world at that. But it's also, how do you improve yourself so that you show up more powerful on social media so you get more results? And so we're kind of a combination of those two things, of teaching you the strategies, the tactics, but also how do you improve yourself emotionally and inside so that you're coming across more relatable?
I think that, you know, taking this event, and I want the next question leads us to kind of a where, taking this event and the people that you have and focusing and pointing it in this direction specifically. I mean, do you think people really have the opportunity to kind of draw their line in the sand at the day this event begins in September and go, 1 year from now, my business is going to be better? Do you really think this could be a jumping off point for the next year of their business?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to take a year. I mean, I think, you know, we do a mix of helping you with the strategies and tactics that you want, but also that internal transformation. And so I know that your business problem is a personal problem. And this is a place that, you know, not every trainer is willing to go because it's complex, it's difficult. But from coaching people for many years now, I know that ceiling that you keep hitting, or why you're not consistent, even though you know what you need to do, but you just don't do it. I know that those things aren't laziness, and those things aren't that you've lost your passion, which some people attribute that to. It's because it's a personal issue. It's something that you observed younger in life that has you drawing the wrong conclusion to success. And the best way, because this is a complex kind of, you know, concept, the best way to share that is through some stories. So I've coached people that they get to a certain point and then they kind of shy away from attention, and they start to they start to draw negativity to attention and recognition. And so they start sabotaging themselves so they don't get recognition, so they don't get recognized. And that often is due to siblings. And so if you had siblings and one of you was getting more positive attention than the other, then it's very simple for a sibling to draw that positive attention to them means negative attention on the other. And so that's not reality anymore if you're out of childhood. But if you don't understand that, then you can draw that conclusion that even though your sibling may have nothing to do with your network marketing company, that you feel like you're hurting them because you're gaining positive attention like you did as a kid. And there's very complex structures that people build in their subconscious that prevent them from doing the work, that prevent them from showing up. And another very common one, the siblings is a pretty common one. Another very common one is if you have seen a family member make a bunch of money and lose it, then you are very likely actually to sabotage yourself so you don't make a lot of money so that you don't lose it. And this is something that it'll keep you playing small so that if you do fall from grace, it's not that big of a fall. And what it does is it just eats up your life and totally erodes your potential. And you need to understand that you don't have to view success with, oh, the hammer's about to drop, the shoe's about to drop, or whatever the saying is, right? You don't have to see success as, oh man, I'm up here, when does it go away? You don't have to do that. That doesn't have to be your story. You can choose to change it.
All right, so I just want to make sure that we're clear here. When I go to Rank Makers Live and I'm viewing this incredible content, not only or is there going to be a real focus on social media and how I'm going to use that into my business, but in addition to that, we're going to stay in the lane of, or go into the lane of, how I can really understand what's keeping me from success,
right,
mentally and personally, and how to get over those roadblocks and create that success with the strategies?
Absolutely. Let me give you an example. And this is why, if you pay attention throughout the 3 days, your life is going to change a lot faster than a year. And let me give you a story behind that. So we have our latest book is called Time, Money, Freedom, and it's published by Hay House, right? And so it's published by Hay House. And when we sell these, we will every once in a while smack a golden ticket in there. And the golden ticket grants the person a 10-minute coaching call with me one-on-one. And so this was less than 2 months ago. Someone wins it, and I won't share her name because it's sensitive stuff here, but she wins it. We get on a 10-minute coaching call. And she starts it with, for the last 4.5 years, my career has been like this. I have a great month and I'm rocking and rolling, and then I fall off the next 2 months. And then I climb back up, and I've switched companies to try to break the cycle. The cycle, it's always like this. I go and I rock and roll, man, and then I just fall off for several months, and then I'll come and I never get past this thing. Like, there's this limit that I just don't ever get past. And so when there's a pattern like that, I know it's a personal problem, without a doubt. Because if you know what it takes to hit that big month, you know what it takes to get past that big month, but there's something stopping you. And so I start digging in. I start asking, questions. And so she used the word disappointment. And so I just kind of poked her and I said, hey, well, who disappointed you as a kid? And she was like, ooh, and she said, well, maybe not disappointment, but shame. I'm like, okay, what do you mean? And so she shares with me that her mom was a prostitute. And so at this point, I have a hunch of what's going on. But I asked her, I said, do a lot of people know that? Do you, like, your friends and family know that? Do locals know that? And she goes, oh, yes. And she's still alive. So that gave me all the pieces that I needed. And I'm like, I know why you have this pattern. And she's like, okay. Well, in that scenario, She had a belief that if she reached a certain point that was higher than she'd been before, then the locals and the friends and family would be envious and have jealousy and say, yeah, but your mom was a prostitute. And they would start saying that kind of thing on social media, which would bring shame to her mom, living mom, which she would do anything to prevent. And so she starts crying. She's like, oh my God, I've never thought about that, but that makes so much sense. And I said, but there's another way to look at it. And that is, your mom literally did everything to help you have a better life than she did. She did everything to help you reach your potential. And for that to be the reason that you don't is a smack in the face. And so this was in a 10-minute coaching call. And afterwards, I'm like, I wonder if I went too hard at her. And so I texted her a couple of days later. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And she said, she goes, you know what? I had a conversation with my mom and it's on. And so that's, great to hear, right? 2 weeks ago, I saw her post on social media that she just had her biggest month ever of the 4.5 years she's been in it, and she's continuing to cruise along. And so when you really figure out and become aware of what has been keeping you back, of what has been keeping you under the radar, or what's been keeping you from being consistent, it's not a long process for you to completely transform. It's actually pretty quick. And so I really believe if you tune in for all 3 days of Rankmakers Live, then you're going to see transformation a whole lot faster than a year.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've heard that story before and it still gets me every time. I think that most of us, myself included, I'm sure yourself at some point in your career, you don't realize, and I'm going to use this word specifically, the baggage that we carry that keeps us from climbing to our pinnacle. You just don't.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right.
For me, I had a major self-worth issue. And so if I was talking to someone that I deemed was much higher, in the economic chain or, social chain or whatever, if I was having a conversation with that type of person, I just wouldn't show up powerfully. I just didn't, it was, and I couldn't identify, like, what's wrong with me, man? Like when I go and talk with somebody that's of a high stature, I show up strange. I show up small. And I remember, going through a hypnosis session, and he had, the hypnotist, my friend, Elliot, had me go back to my younger self who grew up in an abused home, who, was told every day how terrible he was, and physically abused literally every day. And he had me go back to that younger version of myself and tell myself, the younger version, that I was going to grow up, to have an amazing family and have an amazing business, and to inspire people all over the world, and all these wonderful things. And he said, how did that feel? And I said, well, he didn't believe me. And when you're in that scenario of, you speaking to your younger self, you're really speaking to your subconscious. And one thing that I realized is I used to, for years, throughout our entire marriage, and this year is our 10-year anniversary, but for our entire marriage, when I would describe my wife, I would say, yeah, it's unbelievable that, that she married me. It's unbelievable that I found her. And that's because I actually didn't believe it. I literally did not believe the things that I had in my life were real. And when you don't believe the things in your life that are real, you show up in a certain way out of congruency. And so it's a different energy. And that's why I look back, and I had a lot of different scenarios where I could have developed a great relationship with someone, but I just sabotaged it because I just wasn't comfortable with who I was. And so you learning these things that are holding you back, and the baggage, like you said, opens up complete transformation. It's not, everyone searches for the script or the hashtag or the new line or the new way to do Instagram Reels. And, we teach all that stuff because, you do need to know that stuff. But that's not the transforming stuff. The transforming stuff is, what are my emotional addictions? What are my patterns that once I recognize, let me figure out so I'm no longer on autopilot? Because I've been on autopilot for the majority of my life. Most people are on autopilot. And when you're on autopilot, you don't realize you're on autopilot. You're just the passenger in the car. And so something bad happens and you just do your reaction like you always do. It's involuntary. But you becoming the observer and saying, why do I react that way? How come when this happens, I go and do this? Like, that's not helping me. And so you addressing that gives you a chance at true transformation.
Oh, so powerful, man. I'm so glad you're doing this. I've watched you begin to do it and saw kind of the trajectory, and I love every bit you're putting out. I absolutely love it. All right. I want to twist the conversation just a little bit, but
Sure.
I want to stay with what we're on. I want you to imagine that I'm a leader, but I'm in that mid range, right? I've just gotten things going. I got 2, 3, 4, however many people, and the group is doing its bubbling and it's growing, right? Here's the question, what if I could bring 10 or 20 people on my team to Rank Makers Live? Forget me for a second. How does that affect those 10 or 20 people that have just gotten involved in network marketing? They're seeing their first success and or failure or setback. How does this event play into that for me?
Well, it starts with how we think about training. So the way that Jess and I think about training, because we've done it the wrong way. When I first started in network marketing, I thought as a trainer, I needed to be impressive and I needed to, teach really complicated things. And so there's a book out there that more network marketers need to understand. Although it's not a network marketing book, it's a book called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. And there's one sentence in that book that sums up how we think about network marketing and network marketing training. So Michael Gerber is talking about why McDonald's franchises work so well. And the line that he has in the book that just stood out to me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly how things should be. He said, the reason McDonald's franchises work so well is they're built to be ran by the person with the lowest level of skill. Now, that's not derogatory saying that all people running McDonald's are low levels of skill, but it's pointing out that the person with the lowest level of skill can run a McDonald's. That's how network marketing needs to be. Network marketing needs to be taught in a manner that the tow truck driver, the mechanic, the person that dropped out of middle school, the person that's never read a book on business or sales, the person that's absolutely not an influencer can actually create results in your business. And so all of our training stems from that. And so if there's something that's too complicated for the average person to understand, then it either needs to be broken down further or not taught. And so many events that I've participated in the past were impressive as far as level of knowledge transfer, but also many of them left the majority of the audience overwhelmed, confused, frustrated because they weren't sure what thing to do. And so we do a really good job of balancing the strategies, the tactics with, okay, how to actually do this stuff. Where do you go from here? And so we do a really good job of giving you action steps, of breaking it to the most simple way to execute it and helping you out. And that's definitely a skill of ours. And so as the leader, if you want your people to be using strategies that absolutely work. And why do I know that it works? Well, I know that it works because 3 years ago, we started tracking the progress of our RankMaker group. And in the last 3 years, we've helped networkers just like you bring in over 300,000 new customers, 71,000 new reps, and achieve 14,000 rank advances. Now, I'm not aware of other people that track that kind of stuff, but we do, because if it's not creating production, then we shouldn't be teaching it. This isn't to impress people. This isn't to show you how good of a trainer I am. It's to get your people into action so that they're going and breaking every record that exists. And so that's where we come from. How do we make it simple enough that anyone on your team can rock and roll? And sometimes over the last few years, I'd be talking to a company exec or a company owner, and they'd say, "Okay, I'm going to get a couple of my leaders in your group." I'm like, "Tell you what, that's fine. You can do that. Why don't you give me the people that aren't producing but are hungry? Bring me your people that are hungry for change. They got to be hungry. I can't make someone be hungry. I can show you how to be successful. I can't show you how to want to be successful. Give me someone that's hungry but not getting any results, because those are the people that are usually confused. They're usually a little overwhelmed. They're usually overthinking, and we break those patterns like nobody else." And so this is something that if you get your people there, they are going to thank you, no question, but they're also going to get into production, because that's what we're specialists at.
All right. First, say the numbers again. Just quickly, give me the
Sure.
numbers. Say the numbers again.
In the last 3 years, we've helped network marketers bring in over 300,000 new customers, 71,000 new reps, and achieve 14,000 rank advances. Now, we actually, this is funny, but we actually give gifts to your people for producing. And so, can you hear me?
We got you back. We had a little glitch, but we got you back.
So we actually give gifts to your people for producing in your team. And so the rank advancements, that is a verified number. So for them to get a gift, they have to send us proof. Now, the customers, if they recruited over 5, I believe, in a week, we send them a gift. If they brought in over 5 customers in a week, we send them a gift. So the majority of those numbers are verified too. These aren't just what are people telling us, right? But every single one of those 14,000 are verified, because they want their gift. So they have to send us a screenshot for us to actually see that.
All right. So I'm going to make an offer, but I'm going to preface this because you and I are on the same mission. And that mission is to help network marketers level up, right? Just get to the next level. And you and I both believe in the word leverage. And if a team leader can get their team involved with Rank Makers Live, use the link gorml.com. If they can get them involved, they're literally leveraging your expertise to make themselves look awesome, because they're going to rank up, but also to get their team to rank up so all of that happens. And so my mission is this. I'm going to give away 4 private coaching sessions by myself, and I'm going to invite some buddies. I'm going to invite some friends. Wink, wink. I'm going to invite some friends. I'm going to give away 4, not group, guys, not group. This is me and you talking 4 times. You can space them out if you want, however you want to use them, for any person who will bring 10 people, who will go to gorml.com and get 10 tickets and bring 10 people. You can use them as incentives. You can give them away, whatever you want to do. Talk to me a little bit about reaching down, Ray, finding 10 people in this Clubhouse audience or in this Instagram audience or in this Facebook audience who are in my team and saying, we're going to go here and level up our business. What are you thinking about that?
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing for you to, improve your skill sets, which you should always be doing. And I'm a humongous fan of that. I've been doing that pretty hardcore for quite a few years. I mean, I think 2013 was the last time I didn't invest at least $100,000 in my own education in a year. So every year, 2014 and on, I've sometimes much more than that, and sometimes right at that. But this is a little different. This is you getting people that you're financially associated with and getting not just yourself on fire, but getting them on fire too. And so I think it's very smart. Like one of our clients and good friends is Angel Fletcher, and Angel is one of the biggest earners in all of network marketing. In fact, her fiance Ryan, and I hope he's okay me saying this, but her fiance Ryan, she actually tricked him into coming to one of our events back in, I think it was 2014. And so she told him that they were going to Disney World. She brought him to our event. And at the time, he wanted nothing to do with network marketing. He didn't want to do it. He was selling swag like shirts and stuff like that. And so he sat in that 3-day event, very similar to what, similar format, at least to what we're doing in September. And he decided that he was going to make it happen. Well, I think either this month or next month is about to cross the $10 million mark. And so like, she's very happy she brought him to that event. And so like, but Angel, back to Angel, she told me, she goes, Ray, I don't know if you know this or not, but I have over 1,000 of my team in Rank Makers. And why wouldn't I let you train them and get them all fired up and get them working and take some of the load off my back? Now, I never want to come across that way, like, hey, let me take the load off your back, because most leaders have so much guilt that they actually don't know that they need to take some load off their back. They don't, they have too much guilt to even acknowledge that. But that is something that a lot of leaders have been doing over the years. And this event is a great way to do that, because it's a compressed 3-day just blitz of, here's how to do what you need to do. Here's why you may not do it. Let's get you past that. Go do these things, because there's action steps. There's participation. We have breakout rooms where you have discussions, and so we're really excited about it.
I'm excited about it as well. There are a ton of people who already have their ticket to Rank Makers Live. This is an incredibly well-attended event. What I want to encourage people to do is to reach down. I want them to reach down. There are those people, and I know this to be true because we have them in our groups as well. There are people who are saying, look, I can't whatever, right? I want those leaders to reach down and go, I'm going to grab 10 tickets and I'm going to give it to this person that needs it and this person that needs it. Just like Angel and Ryan, this person needs to be in this room. You know that. You're a leader. You've looked down. You can see the actions they need to take. And maybe it's that little tiny thing from you that gets them there. And, Ryan's about to go over 10 million. I want to encourage those leaders to reach down, grab that 10 pack of tickets, and find the 10 people in their team who need it the most. And if we can do something to make that happen, 4 coaching sessions with me, plus our other bonus package, and they all get it. So
I'll tell you one last thing. It's kind of like the favorite uncle scenario, where you as a parent, you're giving the advice to the kids and like, yeah, whatever. And then the favorite uncle gives the same advice. And the kid's like, well, that's genius. I had a client, Jessica Bowser Nelson, who is one of the very, very top earners in her company. And she's just a rock star. And she came into our Diamond Mastermind, which is a very substantial investment. We actually don't offer it anymore, but she came into that, and every month she would have me teach her team. And she would always message me afterwards. She goes, yep, they loved it. You said pretty much exactly what I always tell them. And yet when it comes from you. And so, just understand that is a real thing. And there's 2 reasons for it. One is just hearing it from someone else adds validity to what it is that you've been telling them. And number 2, people with a money mindset issue, which, oh, by the way, is the majority of humanity, people with a money mindset issue, when you are tied to them financially, they can warp what you say as, yeah, you're only saying that because you want to make money off me. And that's how the poor money mindset works, is it justifies, why is this person even trying to help me? Oh, because they're trying to make money off me. And so it's a different scenario when someone that isn't their upline is giving them advice. I highly doubt I'm going to give some totally crazy off the wall advice that you've never suggested before. But even if it's hearing very similar advice coming from another person, it is very powerful for your team to hear.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to get off this subject. We are getting down on time here, and I have a couple things I want to cover. GoRML.com, leaders, make the decision, grab a 10 pack. We'll give you that whole value back in coaching after the event. So grab a 10 pack, get it out to 10 people on your team, and get your team there. All right. I'm going to go back to the page here, Ray. Go rml.com for those of you on Clubhouse. Go rml.com. I'm going to go back to the page here. Let's just leave it up on the screen real quick. And we only have a few more minutes, but talk to me about these amazing people that are on the screen right now. What do we got going on here?
So we address it thoroughly from information all the way to emotion. And so if we go back and just think about right now, the marketing hierarchy of the internet is at the very top of that hierarchy is short videos. And the reason why is the changes in algorithms are what has short videos working better than any other format right now to get strangers to consume your content. So how we tackle that is we have first of all, we have Chalene Johnson, one of the very best in the world. I would, to me, she's the best social media trainer in the world. And the reason is, I think she has 8 7-figure businesses. Like she's an absolute beast, but she is a true marketer in that she actually tests out all of this stuff before she ever teaches it. And so we have, Chalene, obviously she's going to, crush it. We have Kenya Kelly. Now, Kenya Kelly built a following of over 400,000 in the last year on TikTok. And so we got, Shalene's going to talk a lot about stories and Instagram Reels. Kenya is going to talk specifically about TikTok. And so those are helping you hit the very top of the, of the marketing hierarchy there. Then we have the next kind of level is longer format content. So longer format content would be Clubhouse. A lot of people want to learn that. YouTube, Facebook Lives, like longer form content, because there will be people that see your Instagram Reel or TikTok and they want to learn more from you. And maybe they won't reach out to you just yet, but they want to see what else you have to offer. So they'll go and scour the internet for where do you go deeper? And that's where our next string of just amazing all-stars. Marley Jacks, I mean, she's worked with Damon John. She's worked with some of the very best in the industry on monetizing and building up your YouTube channel. And this is something that, she's helped me personally, and she's helping us build our YouTube. Then you have Gary Henderson and Michelle Eldridge. Both of them are Clubhouse experts. Gary has ran rooms of up to 80,000 people attending on Clubhouse. He ran a Clubhouse with one of the original founders of Netflix. Like he's just a total beast. And so, he's going to be teaching that. We have our friends, Kathy and Jordan, who are going to be teaching you how to create content and how to repurpose it amongst these different, formats. We have on leadership, which is a very important topic. I'll be talking about that, but also Garrett and Matt Morris are going to be talking about that. Garrett McGraw, who's the president of the Association of Network Marketing Professionals. Matt Morris, who's been a 7-figure earner for over 10 years. He went from being homeless to showering outside of his church to being a 7-figure earner for well over, I think 12 years now. And so total rock star. On the emotional side, we have one of my coaches, Hank. He's going to be talking about how to come across more authentically and relate with more people and connect with more people on video and in your brand. My wife is going to be talking a lot about money mindset and how your association with money has a major part in the role you play in your business and in your life and family. And then I'm going to be laser coaching several people. So I believe every day I'm laser coaching 2 people that we'll be picking from the audience. And you'll actually see me and the steps that I go through to determine their pattern, to determine what they're drawing, what conclusion of success they're drawing, which is keeping them smaller than they should be, and a whole lot more. And so that's kind of a quick breakdown for you.
Wow. I absolutely love it. We've actually got some new people popping in the room. I just want to give a huge shout out to our mutual friend, Diane Hoffman, who is listening on Clubhouse. Hey, Diane, glad you're feeling better. All right. Last thing before I let you close it out and give us some final notes, Ray. This is a virtual event. We obviously have a lot going on in the world right now.
Sure.
Talk to me about the ability, someone like myself with my family, teams of people, why virtual is the choice this year, why virtual, and how that impacts me and my team worldwide, statewide, all that stuff. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I'll be honest, we really struggled with, we wanted the in-person event, and we were really striving for that. And, we made this decision. And then shortly after we made the decision, all the stuff with Delta came out. And so there's a lot, there are states that are, stepping up different mandates, et cetera. But when it's virtual, I'll give you the good and the bad, right? So the good of virtual is that it's just so easy and affordable for people to attend. To grab a plane ticket, to drive across states, or whatever, get a hotel room like that. That can be cost prohibitive to some people in your organization. The bad is if the virtual isn't ran well, then it's easy to be distracted at home, right? That's just to be honest. And so one of the things that we've implemented, and we implemented it last year and it worked like crazy, is we implemented something called Live Loot. Live Loot, it rewards you the more you participate in the event. So when we throw out a question, you participate, you actually earn Live Loot. When we go into breakout rooms and you're chatting with your other people in your breakout room, you earn Live Loot. Live Loot earns you prizes. And I just saw the bill from Louis Vuitton. My wife went there and went a little overboard. But these are all prizes will be given away during the event. And so she got these Louis Vuitton clutch purses. The coolest thing she got by far is Louis Vuitton earbuds. So it's just a little, they're fancy, they are nice. And so these little Louis Vuitton earbuds, they're just awesome. And so we give away prizes to keep people engaged. And of course, the content's engaging as well. And so it makes it really easy for your team. You don't have to worry about, what your state doing or what's the policy or whatever. You stay at home and stay fired up, and it's going to be awesome.
Okay, so I saw the Louis Vuitton earbuds on Instagram.
That's cool.
And I want them so bad.
They're pretty cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, whether you're on Clubhouse or we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, Ray Higdon has gamified your attention span. And he's Louis Vuitton to get you to level up your network marketing business. All right, one last thing. I said it was one last thing. So we're going to do one last thing, just a quickie, and then I'm going to let you close it out really, really, really fast. Tell me, I heard from some buddies of mine that if I were a company CEO, or if I were a big team leader, if I just wanted to throw up, pop some popcorn and have my closest friends over and really dive down deep, I heard I could get a private room. Like I could literally close out the rest of the world and only have my people on the live stream. What's up with that?
Yes. We realize that, being that it is, open to every company kind of event, that if you have a big team, maybe you want to sit together, right? You want your own little section. And so it's not on, I don't believe it's on the page. You kind of have to ask for it, privately. So if someone has a question around that, ask Chris. But it allows you to have an entire Zoom room all to yourself. And whoever you invite is who you invite. And so, I've seen, we have several leaders that have done this. We have 2 Spanish leaders that have done it, and they have 2, Zoom rooms that are all Spanish. We have a few other leaders that have bought it for their team. Some leaders are, just, selling tickets to the Zoom room for, an affordable price. And some are letting people earn them, like anyone that's gotten a customer or 2 in the last month. They get a ticket, but they earned it. And so it's a really cool way for you to reward your team, look like the superhero, keep them all connected, stay in the same section, and have a lot of fun.
I think that is amazing. And we have 2 guys, if you're listening, Clubhouse, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, we have 2 major bonuses that I'm going to tell you about. So do not leave the live stream. 2 major bonuses I'm going to tell you about. after Ray closes it out. Ray, take 60 seconds. I know you're busy. I appreciate you so much. I'll let
Sure.
you go back into the other thousands of people who want your time. Close it out
I'm
for
here.
today. This thing, wait, prices go up today at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, tonight the prices do go up, and so if you want to attend, it'd be better to get them today.
Yeah, better to buy now than
Yeah,
than tomorrow. Okay, so
right.
price is going up today. Close it out for us. And then, guys, I'm going to come back after Ray jumps off, and I'm going to tell you about these two major bonuses for team leaders. So, Ray, take us out of here.
Yeah. So, one thing that we've done is we've actually added a lot of bonuses that you get access to right away. So, I'll just real quickly run through. So, when you get a ticket of any level, right? Because there's VIP, there's super VIP, there's general admission. When you get a ticket at any level, you're getting a lot of bonuses. One of the bonuses is I spent 2 days with Russell Brunson. If you don't know who that is, he's the owner. He's the co-founder of ClickFunnels. Built a multiple $100 million company from scratch. I've actually known him for a long time, 12 years, something like that. He was actually in my network marketing team at one point, and he's amazing. He's one of I think he's the smartest marketer alive right now. And I learned a lot from him in this very, very intimate mastermind. And I share an entire hour of my notes and what I learned from him, and it'll blow you away. Then we have another bonus with one of my coaches, Hank, who's a speaker at the event, and he is sharing branding secrets. So if you've struggled with what should my brand be? Who should I be targeting? How should I be showing up? What should I talk about? He does a job like no one else can do, because he's a very unique speaker, very unique perspective, very New York, and his training is just unbelievable. Then my wife did a training on mastering your feminine energy, and we had big time 7-figure leaders that told us that was the most powerful training they'd ever seen. It's just crazy. We have Matt Morris, who did 5 levels of MLM leadership. We have Michelle Eldridge, who did quality leads from Clubhouse. Then I share my takeaway from a 7-day meditation retreat I did with Dr. Joe Dispenza. That it changed my life. And I went to that. That was just last month. I did an entire hour of what I got out of that, how it worked, what it looked like. And so those are 6 bonuses you get right away. And there's even more. We even have more in the group now. And so know that, yes, the event is next month, September 10th through 12th, but you can dive into these right away. And I would just highly encourage you. The bonuses alone, obviously we want you to attend the event, but the bonuses are worth more than the ticket. I can tell you that right now. And if you go through 2 of them, any 2 of them is worth more than the cost of the ticket. Obviously we want you to show up to the event too, though.
I love it, Ray. Thank you so much, man. You're awesome. I love you, and I think you're awesome. So I appreciate you hanging out with us this morning, and
Yeah.
we'll be talking soon. Thank you so much, Ray.
All right. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was Ray Higdon spending his morning with us. I'm going to close it out with 2 different bonuses. Check this out. If you get your ticket, or any team member who gets their ticket, so whatever size of the package, Networker has put together a $5,000 bonus training. Here's what we're doing. Step number 1, we have an 8-week group coaching package, 8 weeks recorded. You get access to the recordings, and I'm going to lead those coachings, and I'm going to invite my friends, authors from our book, different people who've contributed to participate in those coaching sessions for 8 weeks. We're assigning a value of $2,500 to that, and every single person who purchases through GoRML.com gets access to that 8-week coaching. In addition to that, our partner, Codebreaker Technologies, has put in their $500 Kickstarter package. It is absolutely unbelievable. It has books. It is the beginning of the Codebreaker Technologies ecosystem, and something every single person on your team should have. Everyone who gets a ticket through GoRML.com gets access to that. And then last but certainly not least, we have a long list. We have Lisa Cox, we have Aaron Lopez, we have Nate Forrest, we have Shelly Long, we have Jennifer Mruck, we have Monica McGann, we have Austin Zuloff, we have several of our leaders who are hosting masterclass trainings of different topics focused on you having the best network marketing year of your life in the next 12 months. Every single person who gets their ticket through GoRML.com gets access to that $5,000 package. That's the first level. Number two, as Ray and I talked about in this interview, if you reach down to your team and you grab 10 tickets or more, there's a 10 pack, a 20 pack, or if you're one of those people who wants their own private room, reach out to me directly. Go into the networker group, networker.com/FB group. Reach out to me directly. I'll get you that room. Not only does every one of those team members get the $5,000 bonus package, but I will personally give you 4 private coaching sessions for empowering your team into their best year ever. So number one, a $5,000 bonus package in addition to the Rank Makers Lives bonuses that make purchasing your ticket through GoRML.com a no-brainer, and prices go up today. And then if you're a team leader, reach down, grab a pack of 10 through GoRML.com, grab a pack of 10, and we're gonna put on top of all that 4 private coaching sessions with me. You can do them back to back. You can stretch them out over a couple of months, whatever works for you going to the next level. So prices go up today. You absolutely have to attend Rank Makers Live. Get your tickets, get your team tickets, get your private room at GoRML.com. And I appreciate you guys. I thank you so much. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning. We are live right now on Instagram. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. And we are simulcasting here on Clubhouse. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Thank you all for everything you do for yourself, for your teams. Go out and chase your dreams, and we'll see you at GoRML.com. Bye for now, everybody.